Game up after such a key performance from him last week against the Tigers, but on the evidence in the first quarter, he's the dominant bloke out there at the moment.
Good bounce too as we start this second term, and he wins it again. Comes back to Goldstein. Mundy's over the football now, shoots out a hand pass. Sandlands, that was terrific. Down low, getting dirty.
That's amazing. That's amazing, isn't it? I mean, he contested the ball that sent it bounce, and then he's one of the first guys over there to the next contest. He's down on his hands and knees.
And he's one of the reasons why, if Fremantle do play West Coast in an early final, round one, the finals, week one, Matt Nui and Cox won't jump over him. And that's something that holds Fremantle in good stead, Tim.
Yeah, exactly. And this bloke with the ball in his hands at the moment, he's been the best of their midfielders this afternoon.
10th possession, goes out wide, finds Anthony.
And Anthony very short, so this has been the problem for North. Harvey, they haven't been able to get the ball quickly into that forward line, which has been their trademark this year. Now that one's got there in a bit of a hurry. Tarrant free kick.
Hit his hand. The umpires have been hot on this year, haven't they? Any interference whatsoever to the marking player's arms. Did you just see that? That's a really good decision from the umpire. McFarlane got there really late, got caught up behind one of the North Melbourne players. And the only thing he could do then as a defender was try and drag the arm down, but the umpire having none of that, and Tarrant in a really good position now to score a goal.
He's kicked 13 goals in the last 4 weeks. He and Hansen have been the two that have been add-ons in the second half of the season, haven't they, to really supplement Petrie. And that one looks pretty good. And just hitting the post. Just quickly, Dennis, on something just about North are about 5.6% in front of Freo before today. Now that percentage gap's down to about 3.7 right now. If Freo won today and could close the percentage gap, actually North could drop as low as 8th even if they win next week. There is still a fair bit for North Melbourne to think about today.
GWS Giants though, Bruce. There goes the kick inside the forward 50.
But they've got Melbourne, Freo at home.
Well, we'll see. Melbourne's perhaps could offer a little more resistance. Fremantle not capable of kicking big scores generally, but they're on the attack again, and this afternoon they're looking likely. Atley comes across half back, and a little chip goes out towards the outer side. Bastanak spilt it, recovers. It's a clever kick around the corner, and he gets the ball to Swallow.
Doesn't look like they're putting any work into Hill. He's got plenty of space out there. He'd be loving this.
We had 10 in the first quarter. He's averaged 17 this year and 15 in his last 4. So here's Harvey. Now he started the first quarter really well. Hansen just had it robbed of him. Well done originally by Mundy and then Spur. And then Pearce, just another one. It's a free kick.
Kick, Brett Harvey, knock the ground. Against you, pushing it back.
I think Hugh is Crowley. So that's a massive turnaround. I mean, that's going to really make you cross if you're Ross Lyon and a Docker supporter, because they had a 1-on-1, 2-on-2 situation in the forward 50 and Crowley dumps Harvey. And here's another free kick against... Well, this is silly by the Dockers.
So is that a referred 50 metres again against Crowley, or was that for something that happened in the goal square?
No, he said 50, the umpire said 50 metres. I'm only guessing it's referred. Not sure, Tim. So Tarrant should kick the goal. He missed the last one, hit the post, but it was a pretty good kick off the boot. That one he's pushed hard, and that's not a good kick. So he's missed a couple of, well, certainly one easy one. But Crowley's just got to get hold of himself now.
Looks like the Kangaroos might have spoken about looking after Harvey. They're putting some work into Crowley.
Duffield with a short one. Dawson's got it. Zeebel's been very quiet. This is Duffield. Good player Zeebel. Hasn't had much of the footy. There's Harvey. He's been in stellar form of late. Took the mark, plays on immediately. Thomas hooks it back towards the middle. But Barlow, sensing the danger, gets over to take it on his chest. Barlow to McPhee. Still inside the defensive 50.
Still just one mark taken between Petrie, Tarrant and Hansen.
So McPhee, very high ball, hugging the boundary. Arriving but doing nothing was Clark. Getting the crumb was Sandilands into the path of Fife. Tackled on the angle that time by Anthony. The hand pass over the shoulder found Swallow, not his intention. Garlett to Harvey. Harvey getting busy. He's had some red hot spells in the last month. Gave it across to Bastanak. Bastanak found a teammate in McMillan. His hand pass came unglued, though. As a result, they caught on the rebound. Ballantyne. Gunnerboyd's half forward. Kepler's back. He's got the ball just forward of the wing. Can go short to the ball. Decides not to. Saw the big fella. Missed him. And now, as a result, North can work it around. Farito, Cunnington and Swallow.
Spur goes early. Good mark. Petrie couldn't get there. Harvey's had a big few minutes, hasn't he? Bradley had an opportunity to move it quickly there, and he missed it. Pearce has been, well, he's been outstanding. Fife running now. He's going to load it up, Fife, and that's a long ball to full forward. What a good mark. It was a great kick, and Walters should kick this, and he does. And the Dockers are putting some space between themselves and the Kangaroos. Don't you love it when a bloke like Fife gets the ball 65 metres out and goes bang?
Well, one of the real problems, for North Melbourne now in the coach's box, and Brad Scott will be poring over the names and the board. He'll be trying to work out how they can shut down Hill and how they can shut down Fife. I mean, there's two players you don't want getting the ball between the two arcs. It's those two blokes, because they can really cut you to pieces. And that bloke on screen now, Pearce, he's up to 16 as well. So his run and drive off half-back's been really important.
He's been a good little player, Dennis Walters, hasn't he?
He's handy, isn't he? Set away from the club to get his attitude right. Went back to his waffle team, and he's been a different man since he came back and was included in the league side here. Out of the congestion, it was worked forward. The second time by Barlow with a paddle. Fife behind the back after trying to assist was made. Eventually, Atley gave it across to Swallow, wide to Bastanak. Atley with his pace ran on, took the ball back, goes short. Harvey's got it again. Harvey sends a high ball in. Petrie's outnumbered. Wonderful engagement there by McFarlane, body to body, and coming back the marker was taken by Ibbotson. Short one though, not good coming out. Spur kicked it directly to Zeeble.
And then back in short, so here's an opportunity for North. Tarrant's the one that's been having the shots, hasn't he?
But you pay a massive penalty, don't you? Like, for a poor kick like that coming out of defence, there it is. You turn the ball over. The defenders are off their man now. They've moved to other parts of the ground. All that space opens up, and then Tarrant gets off the leash. Kicked poorly, though, in the early part of this quarter.
Had to be boundary side, the Spur kick, didn't it? So Tarrant, well, he's had 3 shots, and none of them... The first one was his best. It hit the post.
The extraordinary thing about this is coming to this game, North Melbourne were the most accurate side in the competition.
Tarrant was 19-9, Tim, from set shots. He's now 19-11 with one complete miss. So
Duffield to bring it in. Fremantle by 19 points. Drives it outside the defensive 50. Mazungu flew high. Missed at the back there by Fife. Dug out it there by Delaney. Harper gave it to Zeeble. Across to Garlett. Garlett kicks inside the forward 50. High against McFarlane. Advantage is taken by Fremantle. Wasting no time. The ball comes out from Hill. Walters in 2 minds. Now goes inside the forward 50, or tries to. It may run on inside the 50. North Melbourne back in number, though. Thompson's got it. Tackle from behind by McPhee. Slips a hand pass away to Garlett. Fed it forward. Now Gibson goes to Anthony. Back to McMahon. To the wing. Petrie. Runners either side, but he holds up. Now he looks towards the attacking 50 for his team, and the mark is taken by Thomas. Thomas, 60 metres out. Goes long down towards full forward. Cunnington, the danger. Well, it falls in front. Cunnington missed the opportunity. Down goes Pearce. Strong tackle got him down. And I think the umpire will ball it up. He will.
Freo defenders are really standing up under the high ball.
Yeah, they've been fantastic, haven't they? They seem to be in the right spot, those defence.
They're very good at organising themselves to get back into the right spots. Petrie having to come a long way up the ground to gain possession.
Phil, we're in a really interesting stage, though, Tim. You feel like North are at least getting back on some level ground here. And if Bastanak kicks this, and he does, you feel like they're back in it suddenly. They've just had a lot of ball in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes. It's been down there in more than down.
And a lot of free ball that they weren't able to get in the first quarter. They're the number 1 uncontested side in the competition, but in that first quarter they were shaded 49-66, so Fremantle were able to actually take away one of their great strengths. But as you rightly say, in the last 5 minutes, they've just been able to open the game up a little bit more. Those errant kicks from a stoppage, they really hurt you, don't they? The players forward of those stoppages just read the ball so well in modern day football. You know it's just always going to come back over your head.
13 points the margin then. Clark up early and high. Down goes Swallow. McMahon side foots at about a metre. Clark kept on coming. In goes Mundy. He's claimed by Swallow. Back towards Clark. Clark's in trouble. Taking a full revolution. Should have been holding the ball. Cunnington into the path of Zeeble. He feeds it back to Bastanak. Cunnington under pressure. Fremantle continue to come at them. Swallow run down from behind. Ballantyne's got the football darting around on the 50, but then kicks it directly to Thompson.
Great effort then from Clark to apply that pressure.
Yep, they really worked hard, Fremantle.
Yep.
And now most of the leads are covered coming out. Long run back for some of those North Melbourne players. This is Wright, an emerging talent too. Goes to the wing. Dawson trying to punch away. Eventually Tarrant reduced to the spoil. Comes to Johnson. Did nicely. Fleet of foot comes out to Fife. Fife thought about a hand pass. Now he gives it. Clark hooks it towards the 50. Not 15, says the umpire. Getting very high down there was Spur. Over the football, an opportunity for North's athlete. Spur did well. Reefed it back in. That might be a danger, though. No, the umpire says that's okay.
I feel like they're second-guessing themselves, the Dockers, now when they go forward, though. They don't. North seem to have numbers back, and Freo are not getting it in there with the same authority they did in the opening term. So, big moment here, I reckon, for the Dockers. They're pushing hard. They sort of need a score. It sounds silly, I know. It's 4-5-2-4. They lead. Duffield.
I think the game has closed down a lot more defensively for them when they have control of the ball than what it was in that first quarter.
Penetrating kick to Bohr, Ballantyne, back to Mundy. Their time and space taken away for the moment, and Mundy's kick good mark taken by Thompson. Thompson would have been the match up for Pavlich, correct?
Yeah, he would have, yeah. So he's had to adjust to another type of play to play on. One of the best intercept marks in the competition. Just reads the ball so well off the opposition.
He's a good athlete, isn't he? So
and strong too in a one-on-one contest.
Yep. So McMillan out wide to Ferrito.
I reckon the plan for him may be, Bruce, that they almost might just try and drag him out of that central defensive position, and whoever he plays on be used as a decoy.
Hill getting plenty of it still. Just jams it back to Crowley, not 15. So Hill comes again. That's a beautiful pinpoint kick. De Boer, metres in the clear, goes down towards the pocket, working in front Kepler, coming over the top. There's that man again, Thompson, slips a hand pass away to McMillan. Thompson has been very good. Garlett's got it now. Bastanak sold him into trouble, goes after the footy. That's going to be a free kick to Fremantle. Be taken by Duffield, turns around and fires to the pocket, takes a while arriving. Kepler was the target. McMahon flew over the top of him. Cunnington grabs the crumb for Rito. McMahon sends it towards the half-back line for North. Cunnington, a juggled attempt. Fife couldn't find a way through. Swallow took him down. Clark zips one across towards Mundy, and a brilliant smother by Cunnington, throwing himself across the boot.
Good stuff, Dennis. Yeah. Gee, the game's changed. Yep. North's defence now holding up, isn't it?
They've really upped the ante, haven't they? Good defensive effort there from McMahon too to get over the top there. The kick was just too high for Kepler Bradley.
Sandilands again dominating to Fife to Mzungu. Here's Ballantyne. Goes back to the pocket. Spurs hook back to Bohr. Yep. He just couldn't find the footy. Now Ibbotson, can he work through this? Ibbotson, clever kick actually. Main held up in front of goal. Garlett, good tackle, Main. It'll be interesting. Ball up, right decision.
Well, interesting, wasn't it, too? Brad Scott at quarter time when he was speaking to Kirk, he talked about the defenders. He took the defenders away at quarter time and he wasn't happy with their efforts. I think he's going to be a lot happier at half time with what he's seen in the second quarter.
Sandilands clean possession, hand passed it out. Harvey was lurking over the football. Main scrambled out of there by, I think it was McMahon, taken by McPhee, who kicks it back over their heads for a goal.
His first goal this year, McPhee. He's played obviously deep back, but how big was that? I mean, that was an arm wrestle for what, 5, 6, 7 minutes?
Yeah, and you called it correctly before. I mean, North Melbourne were coming back into the game, so it was now the challenge of Fremantle just up the ante again, and they're able to do that and make it really difficult for North Melbourne to try and clear the ball. And once again, one of those kicks under pressure went to a dangerous part of the ground, and McPhee, who made his name really as a forward at Essendon, able to finish.
Because he started as a docker, didn't he, McPhee? And only his first goal this season, but as you say, he can be a goal kicker.
That's a dangerous kick to that part of the ground, you know, out of congestion like that.
So an arm wrestle ends in a goal for the Dockers. It was a long arm wrestle too, so the next goal vital. Hill yet again spiralling the ball forward. Delaney, well done. He had to take the mark. He was in the right spot. I like the way Clark has competed today, but he was just a little one step behind. Well, Delaney's had a little bit of a fumble, but he gets around Clark. It could have been embarrassing. It's okay. Tarrant takes the mark. Wanted to give to Anthony. Thought better of it. So Tarrant, he's got a good leg, hasn't he? Off a step. McFarlane's had Petrie's measure. He's really done the job on him so far. That's a dangerous kick. Ferrito chops it off. Gets a second crack through Thomas. Goes back Ferrito. Garland off a step. North in a good spot here. Swallow sits and waits. Hill was the third man up. Bouncing ball. Thomas, well played. And Hanson kicks the goal. Turnover in the centre. And North get one back.
It's a massive penalty, isn't it, if you turn the ball over that part of the ground. The player was on, he was there, but the kick was just too high. And then their defenders, once they had to try and scramble back to defend, they were all at 6 and 7s, and North Melbourne had the cavalry right and the numbers to work the ball.
Come a really good contest this match, hasn't it? I mean,
it has, and you know, Hanson has been a really quiet player up until that point. Intelligent use of the ball there by Thomas too. He's a really clever player.
Hanson's first possession.
Yep. Bit of a Joe the Goose over the top. That's going to bring you back into the game.
Confidence. Here's Mundy, brilliantly done by Sandilands. Mundy goes down towards half forward, reaching over the top. McMahon. Ball spills backward of the pack though. Dangerous spot. Bradley upended. Opportunity for Gibson overrunning the ball. Clark. Delaney arrives. Got an involuntary boot to it. Advanced at about a metre. De Boer emerges with the football. Now Hill. 17 possessions for Hill. He plays a very strong tackle too. And the umpire, I think, will be forced to bounce this one right on the line of the centre square down towards half forward for Freo.
Just looking at the kick-handball ratio, the Kangaroos are handballing a lot more than they have over the last 5 weeks. Nearly 1 kick to 1 handball.
And Hill's up to his season's average already. So in terms of disposals, one, he, and as Dennis said, it was a great tackle a second ago. Mzungu, Swallow off a step. It's been rock solid Swallow. Hanson, so a second disposal for him. Gibson, careful kick, good one. Garlett worked hard, did well, Garlett. And then off a step to half forward. Thomas slipped his man, really should have taken the mark. He might kick the goal, and he does, Lindsay. He's one of those players. He can be messy, but he normally tidies up. Just that sort of guy. It's probably the first time they've kicked 2 goals in this match consecutively. And they close the gap. And Thomas has been involved in both the goals, hasn't he?
He's a really clever player, isn't he? We talked about him the last time we saw him play against the Tigers, about how bullish North Melbourne were about when they first saw him arrive at Arden Street. And just not able to get the numbers back there again, Fremantle. I mean, they're really contesting one-on-one, and this bloke, whether it be in the air or at ground level, he's really improved his finishing.
I'll say, last year 21-36 for the season. His confidence was absolutely shot, like a long jumper who couldn't reach the sand, and now suddenly can't miss. Not that that was that hard, but he's been terrific from all angles this year. Wait for the whistle.
But he really got dropped last year, Dennis, because he wasn't able to finish, and it was having a demoralising effect on the rest of the team.
Yeah, well, he and Tom Hawkins have found the magic potion. Bottle it and sell it alongside the centre circles. The bounce takes place. Oh, that was interesting. Fell at their feet after they locked up. Anthony hooks it down towards half forward. Tarrant to Harvey. Harvey hand passes when perhaps a kick would have been better. Dawson under pressure, trying to find a way through down there as Spur. Had it a while. It rolls out the back. Crowley kept a cool head. Good evasion. Got through the pack. He kicks it out towards the wing. Ball bounces on its point. Walters hard against the line, hugs the boundary. Watch out for big leap from the back there. Didn't quite hang on, did Mayne, but it was always going to be his fly. He's in it again on the ground. Comes to Barlow. Barlow to Hill. All North Melbourne, though. Going back is Thompson. Awkward bounce, and Mayne covered some ground. Got back in the contest. Terrific. De Boer puts it out in front of Mayne, demanding something of him now. Coming across Mzungu. Mayne again. 4 terrific efforts right there. Ballantyne on the assist. And the ball goes out of bounds. Well, in that minute or so, he was the main man.
Dennis, he's got to be tired after that. There's about 8 efforts in that for Mayne.
It's fantastic stuff. What a great passage of play. Sandilands has been supreme. Zeeble, quick kick forward by Bassett. Was touch. Ibbenson goes back to Duffield, and then Duffield off a step. It's about 15 metres out. Barlow fronts for Walters. Does he get a foot to it? He does. He's kicked 2, and they sneak away again.
He's dangerous, isn't he?
Well, Tim, he only came in, as Dennis said, they'd send him away, get your act together. He'd only come in the last 6 weeks. He kicked 12 goals in those 6. He's got the 2 again today. I mean, it helps Ballantyne out a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes some pressure off the small forward. Gee, that...
and to have a bloke who can read the ball and then just scrounge a crumb at that part of the ground too, even without Pavlich out there today. We talked about that pre-game, you know, where are these goals going to come from, and he just read this ball so well, Walters. Here he is, just claiming it. North Melbourne unable to kill it. I mean, there wasn't much of a boot on that.
No. Scuffed it, he did. Scuffed it. But Mayne, Chris Mayne, has to take a lot of the praise there for that goal. He kept it in when it seemed lost. Zeeble stood up in a tackle. Good tackle applied by Pearce. Or was it Spur who got him down? Spur, and now it's going to be a free kick against Zeeble. Spur gets that free kick. Looks inside the forward line. Fremantle have been very good this afternoon. Missing their best player. Ball behind the pack. Goes out of bounds. Just repeating that Matthew Pavlich did a fitness test just before the game. After a long consultation, decided not to proceed. Pulled out. Had Carlton won last night, you get the feeling maybe he would have tried a little harder. Cunnington behind the pack. Hurried kick. Goes towards the outer side. There'll be a free kick to Duffield in front. And North just struggling to come to terms with it again after a good period where they weren't rewarded with too many goals. They had a string of behinds initially and then a couple of goals. Could have done better with so much of the footy. There's Walters again to Ballantyne. That spells double trouble at the post.
The Kangaroos are up to 45 tackles and Andrew Swires had 9, which is massive for a half a game of footy.
I think he leads the competition in that area too, Kirky. It's no surprise, but they're still close enough. They've held on hard here. Next couple of minutes pretty important for both teams. McFarlane's a free, I think, against McFarlane's a Tarrant. Tarrant's been the most likely of the forwards, hasn't he?
He has.
It's the one he's had the shot on goals, and I know Hanson got the goal, but he was sort of the end of some good play. Petrie really has had no impact so far. That's not a great kick.
Gee, there's some good work off the ball then from Dawson before the ball arrived. He just banged into Hanson a couple of times, just got him off balance.
Mundy going well, isn't he? Got it from Barlow to centre half forward. If that ball went over the back, there was trouble, but it didn't. Attlee, he'll try and get this back, Attlee, and I reckon he'll take the man on. He flicked the handball out to Tarrant, and then Tarrant on the left, so Attlee just overplayed it slightly. Gibson got the bounce, held up in the tackle, put Garlett under pressure. Barlow was untidy. Took Garlett down. And then Cruz with a little one to Anthony. Had the fitness test himself with a poke eye before the game. Neat looking kick. Crowley did it well though. Can he force it forward? Can't quite. Tackle was good. Bastanak has kicked a goal. Hooks it back to full forward. Sandilands, well, the ball was not going to get over the top of him. Thomas and McFarlane. Thomas got down low. No free. Barlow well played. Spur off a step.
Out of the back pocket then, sends it wide. McMahon in best position, dropped the mark, pushed back towards him, well done by Petrie. Came across towards Garlett in turn, and now Gibson in 50.
What a penalty that is.
Huge from there, isn't it? Lee Spur, disconsolate. So the man will shoot at goal now from about 15 metres out.
A massive penalty.
So Gibson, shot is on the way, and he's got it. So that's very handy in the scheme of things. They trail by just 8 points.
It is right. I mean, that's exactly what you're not allowed to do, but it was never the intention when they first brought the 50-metre penalty or brought the 50-metre penalty in. It was all about time wasting.
That's right.
And it was really about, it was us. It was the 84-85 Kevin Sheedy side. And
you blokes.
We were instructed to dump blokes and slow them down and save as much time as we possibly can. And then after that, they introduced the 50-metre penalty.
Because in those days, the penalty just 15, so you'd cop the penalty.
You'd cop the 15.
Garlett's had a good little patch. He's up to 14, Garlett, for the Kangaroos. Liked his last 10 minutes. So what happens in the next few minutes before half-time? Dockers have made most of the running. In fact, all of it basically after the McMillan goal early. They deserve to be in front at half-time, but North have hung tough in this quarter. Fife, long kick, Ballantyne at the back, fell over, was in a good spot. Great tackle, Ballantyne, right up the front. And Bradley's hurt himself again.
He's gone down again.
Poor old Kepley's had a tough old day.
Every time he's come off, the doctors check with him every time, so he's obviously there is a bit of a concern there.
We're going to have to count him out soon. Watch this. I think he cops another one in the back of the head. He does. He cannons into the back of right.
Ferrito yanks it out. Dawson doesn't like kicking it. We know that. McPhee got a really valuable goal in this quarter. Dangerous kick wide. North well played right. No mark given. Had a fair bit of it. Barlow. Spurgeon well. Back to Bradley. He's in the thick of things again. Bastonak gets hold of him. Back to Fife off a step. Kick the ball forward. Bouncing. Ballantyne running very hard and kicking the post again. He's done it twice. He did get a shove in the back, to be truthful, but it won't be paid. But how quick was Ballantyne then? He read that better than everybody on the ground. What's this? Little shove in the back? It is in the back, isn't it?
Yeah, affected the kick, didn't it?
Yeah, it should have been a free kick to the little fella.
Yeah.
Spot on. Spot on, Macca.
Well, I make a good umpire when I give this other caper up, eh?
Nothing wrong with your eyes.
Got to be able to run, Macca. Here's Wright.
Golf cart.
I can see you in it too. Drives it towards midfield. It's going to be a North Melbourne free. Crowd riding the umpires a bit, but I think the free kick counts. Not that it needs to be level.
He's drawn 3 free kicks in this quarter, Tarrant, in marking contests.
Is level. So Tarrant is coming a long way up the ground to get his kicks too. Interesting kick, missed by Goldstein, and his colours lowered in no uncertain terms by Sandilands. Well played, McMillan. What a hard ball. Swallow knows no other way. Picks it up, flicks it to Bastonak. High ball towards half forward. Hanson was under it, knocked away by Dawson. Dawson kept coming, rolled McMillan over, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Just over 2 minutes to half time. 9 points the difference. Fremantle on top. Win today, and they're in the finals. Gee,
that was a great spoil by Dawson. Could easily have given a free kick away. Swallow in the thick of it. We're speaking to Swallow at half-time along with Pavlich. Well done by the Kangas. Zeeble to Harvey, hooking back. Tarrant front spot, looking for that 4th free kick. Duffield, well, that's a strange kick by Duffield. Not a good one. They raffle at North, and in the raffle, nobody takes advantage of it. But Hill gives them a gift.
That's just a terrible defensive kick, isn't it, from Duffield, to kick it back into the corridor like that.
I think the fact that they're going to play deliberate. Players are loath to kick towards the boundary line in that situation, aren't they? Now, Swallow off a step. Not a great kick, and Ibbotson takes an easy mark.
I tell you what their defenders are really good at, watching them today, is engaging with their direct opponent. I mean, they make body contact really early. We saw that before with Dawson just bumping Hanson, and then again on that spoil a couple of moments ago, where he actually took his body with the spoil. They're very physical, their 3 tall defenders.
So 4th disposal this quarter for Pearce, but 17 for the half. Free kick against the Dockers.
Sandilands giving it up. Goldstein to take it. He's about 70 metres from goal. Puts it inside the forward 50. Falls in front. Mundy, who's been good, jams it on the boot. Pearce at close quarters. Very close. Mazungu back to Pearce. Fancy footwork from Ibbotson. Beautiful kick coming out. Wonderful spoil for Ferrito. Knocked it down. Mundy kicks it directly back to Ferrito. He was trying to bypass him and go to Hill, who was 1 man on. Nice pass. Cunnington inside the forward 50. Great intervention down there by Ibbotson. That hurt. He's on the ground. Meantime, scrambling after the football is Johnson. Over the top comes Duffield. There might be Thomas in there as well. Yes, it is Thomas who, with the help of Petrie, gets to his feet. They're conceding nothing in defence, Fremantle. They're playing it very hard. We're down to the last 20 seconds.
Players really starting to look tired in this last couple of minutes of play.
There's a massive 20 seconds here for the Kangaroos. If they could just sneak this out, Zeeble, Mzungu, they might be safe for Dockers. It's a one-on-one. Clark did pretty well, and I think this will be the half-time score now. It's been a great first half. Freo have made the running. North have stayed tough, though, in the second quarter, and it's perfectly set up, you'd think, for what should be a cracking second half here. We'll be talking to Andrew Swallow and Matthew Pavlich in the half-time break. A little bit of to-do here, and they'll sort themselves out. Ballantyne surprisingly right in the middle of all of that. Crowley's desperate to get there with him. He can't quite make it. There's Hayden. Gee, he loves it. He loves a little biff, doesn't he, Hayden?
I reckon if there was a talking component to training, he would train the place down.
He's a beauty. Half-time here at Etihad Stadium on a Sunday afternoon. It's 5-4 to 6-7, 34 plays 43.